Okay, so here we are, the passion of resurrection. I'm happy that you're here. Today we do the lighting a bit different. Today we combine two parts, and that is the Wednesday meeting is suddenly today too. I'm combining this because we just have a small introduction to the video that we're going to watch today, and then we're going to watch that video, which is absolutely fantastic. So this is the last, say, resurrection video that we're watching, well, at least in this series. And now we are engaging in stem cell research from Master Teacher. And yeah, he uses the stem cell research in a very specific way. You will see that if he's talking about it today, I'm not even sure. Because he made so many videos about stem cell research, and that is not completely clear right away what he means with it. But since he told me how that was, it is more like this. It's like the stem cell in your body, for instance. The stem cell is a specific cell that is not differentiated. It's a cell that could become any cell. It's like babies carry a lot of stem cells in their blood. It's like a cell that still can grow into anything. So in that sense, it is the perfect cell that can differentiate into anything, also to repair and to heal and to make whole again, if there would be such a thing as a physical healing. Now here, this stem cell activation, that's what he's talking about, is basically the idea of your wholeness coming into the remembrance within a physical aspect of yourself. So step backwards, like to simplify it even more, that has everything to do with resurrection. Resurrection is not necessarily say a totally physical process, but certainly the body is involved in it, since it is like seeing the body for what it is. That doesn't exclude the body, that includes the body totally. Now if this recognition is complete and perfect, then you don't have to have any ideas about it. And there you go with in fact recognizing that you are not this in its totality. In that moment of that recognition, the body is complete and healed and whole, but it has also, in that sense, it literally, you don't need it any longer in that sense. So here with the stem cell research, Master Teacher focuses a lot on the idea of coming into the remembrance of your whole beautiful cell, undifferentiated, and doing in the body whatever it has to do. Like the turnover of the cells in your body in this healing process that you find yourself in is very quick. So that means, in general, it is like that. In general, I mean, within every human body, it goes really quick. There's hardly anything in your body that is older than 1 year. Like hardly anything. Probably nothing. Maybe 1% of the things that are in it. And now you never think of it like that, but Deepak Chopra did in his book, like the Quantum Healing. He uses this, and so Master Teacher refers to that specific discovery, that some of the cells in your body, like for instance the cells that touch food, are changing every 2 seconds. There's already a new cell, there's a new cell, there's a new cell. Like it's continuously in a regeneration process. So in other words, the body is not static as you would think it would be. And so only by you keeping, in fact, hold on the idea that it is 30 years old and it has that memory, or it's 25 years old, however you experience yourself. It's like you hold on to the idea that happened then and still affects. Like, well, that is only because of the memory that you hold together, because the body is already changed. Like, it has nothing to do with what the body is doing. It is your own, basically your own experience of the body that tells you that this is still the same and it has an effect and all this. So here we come then to the stem cell regeneration, you could say, is allowing every cell to be new all the time. It gives you the opportunity to be healed and to stay in an idea of timelessness, in fact, or not aging at least. So this is the effect of what you think about. Even your body has a great effect on the body. Of course, I mean, you get exactly what you ask for in that sense. There's not something outside of you that does that to you. This is very simply and very fast said. And so the body still doesn't tell you anything about you except the ideas that you have about it, or the ideas that you hold on to it, having its effect on how you experience the body. But the body in itself doesn't tell you anything about you, because I am as God created me. Like the lesson of today. I am as God created me. I'm not this body. I'm the Holy Son of God. And that's an experience of total connection, total oneness with the source. The source and the effect are indistinguishable. So here many things are happening in our recognition here. Now today, because we're going to watch the video with the stem cell research, stem cell body regeneration, we also look at, well, let's say, like, we really take a look at the insanity of the idea of ego, of a body identification, of a human body identification, say, putting next to the totality of your being, the wholeness that you are, the I am that is created by God. There's some really interesting, like, basically critical expressions that you will find in chapter 10, where God and the ego are really like the hot topics. And so here I only use the introduction from chapter 10, introducing the idea of God and ego. So it's like, who is your father, really? Who is your father? We know, like, that call no man on earth my father. Call no man on earth my father. And that has a real fundamental, that is a real fundamental expression, where you discover the truth of who you are. It is not only that you can call no one on earth your father because of who you are, but that establishes you as the son of a father. Like, you cannot be a son out of nowhere. There has always been to be a father. So this is what's being used in the course too. It's like the son is the confirmation of the father, and the father is the confirmation of the son. That's how they are, say, how they are one. They are indistinguishable, also inseparable. It is just a fact of it. All right, so you can tell there's really something here to discover today, and that's why I love to bring that in. And it fits perfectly with the lesson of today too, which is like lesson 110. I'm as God created me. Well, that's great too. Now, okay, let's see. Who is my father? See, with these questions, it is always great to ask them and to wait for the answer, so it can be shown to you instead of you filling in the blank. You know this. So either God or the ego is insane. It's either God or the ego. If you will examine the evidence on both sides fairly, Yeah, just take another look at it. That's what we're going to do right now. Just take another look at it. The evidence on both sides fairly. You will realize that this must be true. So it's either God or the ego is insane. Like one or the other is insane, because they don't comply. They're not the same. They're complete opposites. So neither God nor the ego proposes a partial thought system. So either you believe what the ego so-called tells you what you are and live with that as a temporal human being about to die, or God is true. You live an eternal life where you're not a body but you're consciousness. So both thought systems are complete. They're not just little things here, but now they have a complete package of ideas. Each is internally consistent, but they are diametrically opposed in all aspects, so that partial allegiance is impossible. Yeah, partial allegiance is impossible, but that doesn't mean that you don't try to combine the two. But remember that their results are as different as their foundations, and their fundamentally irreconcilable natures cannot be resolved by your vacillations. Like you cannot jump from one to the other. You're not in between two worlds. As Joel said it in many of his tapes, like between two worlds. Like, well, that's literally impossible. You cannot vacillate between the worlds. That's an impossibility. So you always choose one, and then the other goes. You cannot experience the other one. It's irreconcilable. You cannot put it together. Nothing alive is fatherless, for life is creation. Therefore, your decision is always an answer to the question, who is my father? And you will be faithful to the father you choose. So I'm continuing reading because you need to hear the whole thing. It's totally amazing. Yet what would you say to someone who really believed this question involves conflict? Yeah, what would you say to someone who really believes this question involves conflict? Like, looking at it yourself, are you in conflict with the ideas that either God or the ego is insane? Like, does that involve conflict? If you made the ego, yeah, you made the ego. You build up your self-identity. You believe that you are who you think you are. So in that sense, you made the ego. So how can the ego have made you? But that's some question. Like, how can the ego have made you? Can he be your father? No, of course not. So this is a very deep expression. If you made the ego, how can the ego have made you? But it's a fundamental question you have to ask yourself. The authority problem remains the only source of perceived conflict, because the ego was made out of the wish of God's Son to father him. What is that? The authority problem remains the only source of perceived conflict, because the ego was made out of the wish of God's Son. The ego was made out of the wish of God's Son to father him. The ego then is nothing more than a delusional system in which you made your own father. Make no mistakes about this. It sounds insane when it is stated with perfect honesty, but the ego never looks upon what it does with perfect honesty. Listen to this. It sounds insane when it is stated with perfect honesty, but the ego never looks upon what it does with perfect honesty. Yet that is its insane premise. which is carefully hidden in the dark cornerstone of its thought system. And either the ego, which you made, is your father, or its whole thought system will not stand. So did you hear what it said? Oh my God, oh my God. So I love to bring this back to ourselves because, hey, this is just the introduction to chapter 10. So if you never read it, there's something there for sure that you can recognize. Now here, the most difficult part of this introduction is to actually be open to hear it, because it puts you right in the place, like right there where you are experiencing your conflict. It is shown to you how impossible that conflict is. Now, do you want to see that? Well, that means that you have to really look at it. Otherwise, you wouldn't even know what to decide, or you wouldn't even know what you are doing. And that is the problem. The ego does not want to look at what is actually honestly there. So here's like, this is the crux. Like, this is exactly the difficulty for waking up. You are being dragged to the place where you can actually see, like, hey, let's take an honest look here. What is occurring? Now, both sides here, this and this. Now, we'll look at this. Now, honestly, look at this. And you say, like, no, I'm not going to do that. Because then I might discover something that pushes me to work in order to release it and to experience who I truly am. Yeah, that's exactly the thing. That's exactly what's happening here. So this is what I mean with, it's difficult to look at the thing that you don't want to see. Now here's exactly that. Here's exactly that thing that you don't want to see. And what is that? Yeah. So you can easily be convinced about the idea, like, yeah, the ego, I did make the ego. Like, I did make an image of myself that I believe to be true about myself. I dare to admit that. Like, yes, I confirm that, I defend it. If somebody tells me you are this and that and say, no, I'm this, no. I do like comic strip books. Yes, I love to read them. Yes, I do like that music, but I don't like that and don't like. And you make all your differentiations in order to have an image of yourself that you feel about, like, yeah, this is me. This is what I love to be. I love to be recognized as this. And I love to be granted for the things that I do and think, and I am somebody. Now look at me, this is what I do. So that's the image of yourself. That is what you defend, and what you rather not give up, because there would be nothing left since you made yourself. Now here it says, can the ego be your father? And then it's a bit empty here, because you made this image of yourself. You made the ego that you believe yourself to be. So did he make you? No. Did you try to make yourself? Yes. So in fact, you're fatherless in this experience of yourself. You're fatherless because you've made something of yourself. Now you can think of the idea that the father is your father, so to speak, that created you. In your story about yourself, that is included too. So your temporary earthly father appears to have created you. So this is just fun to take a look at, because it's getting really messy in that sense. It's getting really messy in trying to defend this. It's going to be difficult to defend this. That's why this is such a great part of the course. I think it's like, okay, here's the roots. Let's rip them out. The roots of the delusional system that you have believed yourself to be true about, like that you believe that to be true. Now it's completely delusional. Are you willing to let these roots be literally lifted out of your belief system in order to come to a total experience of yourself? where you only get the confirmation who is your father, the one that is one with you, that created you perfectly, that its only will is yours, and it's for you to become perfectly happy, not just a little bit, perfectly happy. Now, do you want, like, are you willing to accept that for yourself because it is the truth? Are you willing to do that? Or do you want to hold on to this self-made, fatherless figure in a pitiful world, in a depressed state of separation, of lack and limitation, of disease, disaster, and death? If that is still attractive to you, keep believing in it, but it has no reality. See how fundamental this is, what is being asked here? So the question then is like, who is your father? Is something that you let yourself, you choose your father in every moment. You choose, what are you making real here for yourself? That what is real, or are you making something real and try to defend that? That's really the fundamental question here. Now, in the video that we're going to watch, so Master Teacher will use this too in the expression. I'm curious, I didn't listen to the tape today yet, so I'm curious to see more about that, because this is such a hot topic, you could say. It's such a hot topic that brings you to the place where honesty becomes really like a question. Like, are you willing to be honest with yourself and look at what is occurring? Or are you trying to keep the delusion going by not being honest about yourself and allowing yourself to live a lie? It's really like this. It's very fundamental. And in that sense, for a human being, it's very unattractive, because it rocks the foundation of your belief about yourself. But that's good. That's not bad. It is like it keeps you, this delusional thought system that you have been entertaining for a moment, brought you to the place where you are looking for an alternative. So in that sense, it is only good news what comes your way. This opens up a whole new world for you, a whole new freedom within you. That is the beauty of this. All right, so now bring it back to the lesson of today. I'm going to read the lesson of today with you. That would be great. So I will start with the first paragraph. I am as God created me. So we take it easy today, also reading it slowly but very attentively. I am as God created me. We will repeat today's idea from time to time, because we already did this lesson too, like 30 days ago or something. For this one thought would be enough to save you and the world, if you believe that it is true. Its truth would mean that you have made no changes in yourself that have reality, nor changed the universe so that what God created was replaced by fear and evil, misery and death, like we just said. If you remain as God created you, your fear has no meaning, evil is not real, and misery and death do not exist. So go ahead.
Today's idea is therefore all you need to let complete correction heal your mind and give you perfect vision that will heal all the mistakes that say mind has made at any time or place. It is enough to heal the past and make the future free. It is enough to let present be accepted as it is. It is enough to let time be the means for all the world to learn, escape from time, and every change that time appears to bring in passing by.
If you remain as God created you, appearances cannot replace the truth. Health cannot turn to sickness, nor can death be substitute for life, or fear for love. All this has not occurred if you remain as God created you. You need no thought but just this one, to let redemption come to light the world and free it from the past.
Dans cette seule pensée, tout le passé est défait et le présent est sauvé pour s'étendre quiètement dans un futur intemporel. Si tu es tel que Dieu t'a créé, alors il n'y a pas eu de séparation de ton esprit d'avec le sien, pas de division entre ton esprit et les autres esprits, et seulement l'unité dans le tien.
Le pouvoir de guérison de l'idée d'aujourd'hui est illimité. Elle est le lieu où naissent tous les miracles, le grand restaurateur de la vérité à la conscience du monde. Répète l'idée d'aujourd'hui avec gratitude. Voilà la vérité qui vient te rendre libre. Voilà la vérité que Dieu t'a promise. Voilà la parole dans laquelle prend fin tout chagrin.
For your 5-minute practice periods, begin with this quotation from the text. I am as God created me. His Son can suffer nothing, and I am His Son. Then, with this statement firmly in your mind, try to discover in your mind the Self, who is the Holy Son of God Himself.
Seek him within you who is Christ in you, the Son of God and brother to the world, the Savior who has been forever saved, with power to save whoever touches him, however lightly, asking for the word that tells him he is brother unto him.
You are as God created you. Today honor yourself. Let graven images you have made be the Son of God instead of what he is be worshipped, not today. Deep in your mind, the Holy Christ in you is waiting your acknowledgement as you, and you are lost and do not know yourself why he is acknowledging. He is unacknowledged and unknown.
Cherche-le aujourd'hui et trouve-le. Il sera ton sauveur de toutes les idoles que tu as faites. Car quand tu l'auras trouvé, tu comprendras combien les idoles sont sans valeur, combien sont fausses les images que tu croyais être toi. Aujourd'hui, nous faisons un grand pas en avant vers la vérité en lâchant prise des idoles, ouvrant nos mains, notre cœur et notre esprit à Dieu.
Nous nous souviendrons de lui tout le long de la journée avec un cœur plein de gratitude et des pensées pleines d'amour pour tous ceux que nous rencontrons aujourd'hui, car c'est ainsi que nous nous souvenons de lui. Et nous dirons, pour nous rappeler son Fils, notre Saint, soit le Christ en chacun de nous, je suis tel que Dieu m'a créé. Déclarons cette vérité aussi souvent que nous le pouvons. C'est la parole de Dieu qui te rend libre. C'est la clé qui ouvre la porte du ciel et te laisse entrer dans la paix de Dieu en son éternité.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So it's like, is it me or I get very excited to read this. But like, wow, this is so beautiful how this falls into place with what we just read. And in fact, the decision that's so right in front of you, that it's like, wow, that's coming at you. Now you have to make, like, the choice is already made. Now, why would you hold on any longer to what appear to be a choice? That is not a choice. You're not a fatherless one in a desolate world of pain, disease, disaster, and death. No. So here is your salvation with thankful heart, and it's like, oh my God, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's unbelievable that this is coming to me today as the real message. I'm as God created me. It sets me free from any kind of idea of limitation. Oh wow, this is a gift. Now this is interesting, isn't it? So it's like that what is given us in chapter 10, in only the introduction to chapter 10, it's like 2 paragraphs, that's all. Puts you right there where you experience, in fact, on a daily basis, the conflict, if you think there's something else, but the totality of you in perfect communication with your Father. So if you think there's something else, this is what you see and what you believe in, and now you know there is something else. You know there's an alternative to the world that you see, and that is your choice, not anyone else's. This is just about you, and that is the loveliness of this. All right.